Hello, I'm here again with Lillian for another podcast. Today we're going to talk about the biological stress test, which is available to everyone to take. So I have some questions, Lillian, for you.
Sounds good.
Question one, what is the biological stress test?
Because I have a master in biology, it's my best search, my best findings on how the biological fight, flight, and freeze and fawn is influencing modern people. So to ask questions, you can dial yourself into one of these categories and start your journey that maybe your symptoms are more mental, more influenced by our mammalian biology than anyone could think of.
I thought it was interesting. I took the test and I thought it was very interesting because it really clarified the sort of stress that I experience. So I recommend it. Okay. I don't feel stressed. Why should I take a stress test?
The guys that don't feel stress would probably not find my webpage and what Gary Sharp and I am putting out in the world, but probably their spouse would, because some spouses are nervous and want to figure out what is this all about. So they will probably give a hint, and maybe if they get the test, they will figure out that stress might be something else than they know. We all think that stress is very, very unpleasant and you complain about life all the time, but that's not the case. I'm pretty sure that the reason why there's a lot more men than women in a diagnosis like Parkinson is due to this feel good stress. And I can ask you back, you have had a company
Mm.
once. When you think back at the start of this company, when you planned it and started executing things, how did you feel?
Very excited. It didn't feel like stress, although I think in retrospect it was stress. I was stressed, but at the time it feels like excitement, and you work and work and work and work and push yourself because you're carried along by the excitement. But it's stress at the end of the day. This is a similar thing, I think, to Michael J. Fox, who was diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 29. I've read that he worked really, really hard in his 20s, day and night. So he really pushed himself, and it probably felt like excitement and challenge and fun. But he then got the diagnosis, so it was stress.
That's what we work from this corner of what if it's a lot more stress related.
Mm.
And here we're talking about the feel good stress,
Mm,
how push and pressure can help you to make a company, help you to climb the corporate ladder, to get a good job, a pace rise, and a lot of good things, but it have a backside, and some fail that early in life and some later in life. So I would guess that he is what I call a fighter that
mm,
has had a lot of feel good stress in order to do all the many videos and movies he has been in.
absolutely. Okay, next question. What can I expect the stress test to tell me about myself?
You get a chance to see if you fit into one of these six categories. And because they are, you can say a little black and white, and you get the sort of chance to investigate not only the one where you score the biggest, but also the second one. That will be one of them where you think, yes, that's me. And this is sort of one of the first step into this world of what if it's a lot more stress related? What if it's our biological mammalian nature that create symptoms.
Mm.
So it's the first step into knowledge, and we have a lot of more knowledge you can dive into after that little stress test.
Mm. Well, a bell rang in my mind when I took the test. I thought there's definitely something to this. This is significant. Okay, next question. How many questions will I have to answer?
There are, as I recall, 48 questions that will help you dial into how much on a scale, how much you have each of these different situations, how much it applies to you and how much not.
How many times can I take the test?
You can take it as many times as you want, and if you sort of answer the opposite, you can see the other types that pops up and get more knowledge not only about yourself but your spouse and friends and family, because we are running different programs. Some are the flighters, some the fighters, and some the freezers, and you'll get to know yourself, and you can sort of spot some of your friends that have these different patterns and probably understand them a lot better.
What is a stress type?
It's these categories I have divided it up that lean into the mammalian groups of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And we are all a combination of these, but often as we grow older, one of these get more typical for our reaction. How do we react if we get an email that we ought to pay an awful lot of money? Do we say, oh, that can wait, or everything is okay? Or do we say, oh no, what to do? Or do we get into the angry state? I'll give him, you shouldn't send that to me. Or do we write back, oh, what can I do to help you? And so on. So we have different ways, different strategies we have succeeded with earlier in life to investigate and solve problems in our life.
Okay, what should I do next after taking the stress test?
After the stress test, we have the possibilities for more knowledge, more courses, or jumping to the community where I'm there and a couple of handfuls of people that share these way of thinking, and it goes through a little info call with me, so you get a chance to talk to me for half an hour, and then the first Sunday you can join, you can meet your like-minded, which is very profound for most people. I just got an email today with one that said that she was amazed. She's never ever met people that shared the same understanding on Parkinson's and the symptoms. So it's not nothing. A lot of people with this alternative way of thinking, they are living nearly as an island because they have no contact with people. The whole world is fixed on that this is a disease where you can do nothing. But here you meet people that do all sorts of things. You have been in the community under the Overcome course. What did you think about it?
It's excellent. It really is. It's quite a profound experience to meet people who think in the same way as you do. And I was really surprised by how much I had in common with everybody. You know, it was a real revelation. So I definitely recommend the community calls. They're excellent.
And you can see in your eyes that you get this little
Mm,
warm
yeah,
smile thinking about the people you have met in there.
yeah. They're remarkable people because they are thinking in an alternative way that is refreshing and exciting, and it's leading us towards a much better future.
Yeah, and that's what we want. We
Yeah.
want to get rid of all the nocebo spells of you cannot become better and go into the new direction that of course you can. Just start to think about the mind-body connection and how we are whole people.
Mm.
So there's a lot of things to do. Do we have a subject for the next time?
Well, I thought we could perhaps talk about friends, and family and the people that have an effect on your stress levels. And whether your friends are genuine friends or whether the relationships are toxic or
Yeah,
I thought that might be.
yeah, because everybody is stressed in one way or another, or a lot of people are. So if you're together with them, it might cause more symptoms. Have you experienced that, for example?
Yes, I've had very toxic friendships, and you maintain them because you feel obliged to, but the reality is they're bad for you, so you need to end them.
Yeah.
And this is quite a big step to take, and quite a revelation, really, to realize that you don't have to maintain relationships that do nothing for you. In fact, they do bad things to you, so you need to get rid of them.
So a good subject.
Yeah.
So let's see where that brings us another day.